Welcome to Lottoland. The qualifying final of Season 5 of the SRL is underway. We're about to get underway. The Manly Sea Eagles, the minor premiers, playing host to the Brisbane Broncos. Winner goes to the grand final. The loser does get a second chance playing against Penrith or Canberra. Ollie Parche and Lachlan Martin with you in this one. And Lachlan, Manly, the minor premiers, definitely looking to avenge that Season 4 run they've had last time out. But the Broncos have come back here and now want to really send Jack Carl home, knowing it's his penultimate season right now as captain.
Yeah, look, it should be an interesting clash. Obviously, the Broncos, wooden spooners losses, but really been built up this season. A really massive rebuild, a quick rebuild, if you will. Just took one season and already up to second place. Taking on the Manly Sea Eagles. Third straight minor premiers. Obviously, last season they bailed out in straight sets. They want to resurrect that and make sure that does not happen in back-to-back seasons. But the season before that, obviously, they're known as the back-to-back premiers of season 2 to 3. And looking to get back to their winning ways.
We get ourselves underway here. Kyle Lewis with the opening kickoff down to Jack Carl. Calls for captain that is led by example. I was able to see a very good regime, though, as mentioned, will be turning over reins, to whom is currently unknown, of course. And, of course, we do have their recent player movements that have come out. Blair Curtin out, as is Rohan Kaval. Some players still with their fates unknown, like Sam Herbin. We'll have to wait and see on whether they can send their boys home happy. On the side of Manly, they've named a largely unchanged line. Of course, these two teams did have trades, as Hunt there for an early kick, looking to find touch here. Just bounces in front of Chaz Dingo. Chase down here. We'll be able to get him, but eventually tackled just outside his 30. Of course, they did trade Ben O'Donnell for Blair Curtin. Both players starting right now. And Manly are going to be bringing back a few old faces for their next run at the Crown, though they'll be looking to do it with these ones. They will, of course, be losing key second rower Jesse Bennett. That one was confirmed a while ago, and there are a few others that may also be seeing their way out, as Belver takes a high shot from Kelly, who were former Broncos teammates, so maybe no love lost between those two.
Yeah, disappointing there from the Broncos. They started considering some really easy meters there. Corey Bell down the wing. I actually think it was Jordan Williams that came across after Kelly missed Bell and sort of clipped him across high. The Broncos have to defend because this has given Manly an early opportunity on their goal line.
Indeed, as Harris now taking the first hit up and nearly gets into the line. Lewis nearly does so as well, but eventually is brought down there by Williams. He's able to retreat behind the line there. Goodwin there takes it, driven back though. Work there by Justin Monkey there in that prop forward role. Brad Goodwin now, he'll take on the line, but is immediately upturned. 4 minutes gone and Manly already threatening to score here. Ralph, short ball there for Harris, but Harris is met well there by Blair Curtin, former teammates. Ends up bringing him to ground on the last, and now they have to look for a kicking option. They go back, they're looking for they're looking for Lewis rather, but only found Creed Alex Chapman stuck there, and the run there was underwhelming and only a handover there.
Yeah, disappointing there from Manly, I think. They didn't really do much, and that's a lot of one-out running, obviously. If Goodwin got caught with the ball, the other player's not really doing much of anything, and now Simon Hunt with a good run. Gets the Brisbane off the front foot after a poor attacking set there by Manly.
Yeah, I mean, they had an opportunity on that repeat set following the penalty and just weren't able to take advantage of it. Now Brisbane, with that great run by Simon Hunt, have now pushed themselves into Seagulls territory. Monkey there, breaking through a tackle, nearly getting through another. Does get an offload out. Bit of a flat ball there, but ruled okay there by the touch judges, and Kowal, will be tackled there. Deuce Hall, a little ball of hit there for Kelly. Kelly sidesteps Dingo, and Joey Kelly, the leading try scorer from this season, is in again.
Yeah, what a play there by Joey Kelly. Got an offload from, I think it was Lucas Deuce there, and just stepped Dingo, in fact. And it was all too easy. That one looked way too easy there from the Broncos. Disappointing from Manly defensively, and after the Manly got an early opportunity, Brisbane pretty much go 100 meters in one set for Joey Kelly to cross the line.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful work there. Just getting his way around, no problem. And Kowal will be able to send that one through. 6-0, of course. Rohan Kowal, I wanted to get used to that. I have been talking about it before that, we did have messages. It is Kowal, not Kaval. And, well, yeah, it's been interesting as well because he has also been on the move as he had signed with his brother at Canberra. So they may end up facing off against each other before becoming teammates next season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting there. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we're waiting to see how, obviously, the Raiders, if they can get past the Panthers tomorrow first. But if they do end up versing, it'll be a bit of friendly fire before joining up together next season. But I think if I'll be focusing on this game first, making sure his team gets through this strong challenge that Manly is this week.
Yep. Yeah, can't look too far ahead, though. When you can easily be lying in wait for him as there goes Curtin through. If it lost the ball there, regathers there. I think it bounced off a Manly defender there. That is the call. Knock-on advantage played. I think it might have actually been into an offside player, so lucky to not draw a penalty there. But either way, Manly hold on to, or Manly aren't able to get possession back, following what could have been a careless error. And Hunter, oh, great ball. Got it laid out to Williams, but it's an early ball for him to make some solid meters. And it's got Dingo right out of position here. Carl spreading it over to Monkey, but Monkey is met by his opposite in Goodwin and only just be brought down for about 4 short. Curtin short ball. Carl over to Herb, and that was forward. Just pushed it a bit too fast there out of her hands, and Cam Herban definitely looked like he had a chance to go over, but just spoiled the party there.
Yeah, I think there was a little pressure there from a couple of Manly front rowers. Obviously, Brad Goodwin, Reed both starting here on Carl as he made that pass to Herb, and the ball just floated a little bit forward. It was marginal, but I think the right call was made there.
Indeed, as there's Alex Chapman there, just getting that offload out. That time Ralph ends up swooping upon it. 10 minutes gone, tackle free, and not much being made Manly this set. So they are getting some good post-contact meters there from Bennett. Over to Kay. Of course, we know Kay is going to be leaving to captain the Melbourne Storm. And he will have Corey Bell alongside him. Ralph sends it out to Kay. Kay's kick is a punt that's right down into the coffin corner there for Justin Plays. Play steps O'Donnell. Nearly gets by Dingo there. Try to put a move on, but easily driven back there as they met shoulder to shoulder. This goes into acting half. There's guys trying to get through there, but just stopped. It's 30. Send it left side. Open side with Williams. A nice bit of driving meters with those legs. Curtin quickly out there over to Hunt. Hunt breaks off one, gets an offload out. Carl ends up retrieving it, though. It's immediately met there. Brought down tackle 4. Herban across there. Allison playing that 15 instead over to the 11 and progressing forward into Eagles territory just past the 40. Carl will go for a crossfield kick. Right down to the wing of Weston. Weston right through a gap here, but he's angling towards the sideline here. Does step one. Eventually, it's going to be brought down there by Kowal. Eventually worked around there, but nearly went out of play. Harris there on the short end. Going over to try and give him some assistance on the run game. O'Donnell out for Kay. Out for Ralph. Up trying to take the centering run there. Is immediately met there, though, by Monkey and Hunt. Kay over to Lewis. Lewis over to Dingo. Dingo a nice step here. He's nearly through, but that time Kelly got over to meet him. Only so far 2-0 pretty much in those battles between one another. That ball there, Alex Chapman. Now for Goodwin. Goodwin going to be brought down by Monkey. Now on the last here, Ralph will go to the right side. Kay puts up a high ball. Who's underneath it? Kelly is, but underneath it's Ethan Goodwin. And Manly look to equalise 14 minutes in. Ethan Goodwin up there to score one.
Beautiful kick here by, I think that was Will Kay that put it high. And it was Ethan Goodwin just getting his hands under it. The outlet Joey Kelly looked comfortable under it. But it seems like I think Kelly actually mistimed his jump there, and Goodwin's just turned his back towards the ball. Had the ball landed his lap. And just like that, he goes over, and Manly are going to tie things up now. Beautiful try. And the Broncos can still score one. Manly doesn't take long for them to strike back.
Yep. I mean, that was just quick work there. Getting down towards that end, and it was really Chaz Dingo with some important line break that got them that chance to set up for it. Kyle Lewis, of course, noted leading point scorer from this season, and has added another 2 more to his tally. 6 apiece. Back underway once more shortly as they kick towards that Ken Arthurson stand. Jimmy Ralph over there to Brad Goodwin. Brought down quickly. 22 out from the line. Ralph over to Harris. Quickly met there. Carl, Curtin, Olbeck getting involved. It was left side this time. K over to Bennett. Bennett nearly through there. Guy's got the arms around him though, and able to get him down just over 40. Drop over to K. Spreads it across for play there for Harris, and then Dingo trying to get him rolling there, but that time just a monkey cut him out. Ralph back there for Lewis. Lewis, bit of an awkward kick there. Had a man in front of him. Didn't want to kick it into him. Only getting it to Hunt right there on halfway. That was Chapman, excuse me. No, that was Monkey. Never mind. Deuce now on the run. Just getting to O'Donnell though, and not getting much ground on that one. Spread it back across to the center of the park here for Monkey now. It's met by Ralph there. Inside the 30 now though. They're able to spread it left. Allison will just take for one up though. Probably had a little bit of numbers there. Didn't really look for it. Now I'm going to try and stack it a bit more. A while. He'll go breaking straight through here. Got an offload out. Simon Hunt just got to be met there. Curtin drives him back. Leaves him out of the picture. But we'll play it now. Back to Curtin. Bounce off for Williams. Williams, a grab a kick for Carl. It's usually the other way. But the prop to the 5'8", who crosses over.
I don't think that was meant to happen. Williams just... Oh, actually it was Monkey who knocked the ball into Williams. Not sure if I feel like that's a knock on there from Monkey. The refs called it a try, but
I'll play that.
Not sure I agree with that decision, but Williams anyway picks it up, just realizes the loss, puts it on the toe, and Carl's chasing through, and the Brisbane Broncos strike back.
Yeah, I think the call there just it wasn't played at, because you look at Justin Monkey there, he just looks like a passenger on that occasion, just bounces off his chest. And I mean, perhaps the right interpretation. I mean, you know, I think it's hard to say whether it bounced off his arm. You know, how do you define it? But either way, rule was on the field, and they stuck with it.
Yeah, it's interesting there from the obviously the ref. I'm not sure if I agree with the call that it wasn't. Maybe not even played, or maybe just a knock on in general. Since we have seen times that those types of players have been called up for a knock on, but either way, Williams just turned it into something. Just realised it was a loss and just put it on the toe, and it was a beautiful kick, really. Carl just chasing onto it, following the grubber kick again well. He made it look a little bit easy in the end, and just like that, Brisbane now take the lead. Get the feeling it's going to be one of those back and forth games so far. We've had Brisbane strike first, then it was Manly, now Brisbane once again.
Yeah, it's been ping-ponging thus far, and yeah, Jordan Williams, I'm sure, will be making a lot of certain players proud of that toe poke in. Logan Strange, of course, did end up retiring at the end of the season, and we will miss you, Logan. You've done a great service to the SRL, the original founder, commentator of many a match, and captain of the Knights in his final season as Weston now. Oh, he's going to make a nice gather here. Nearly through there, but just going to be tackled at the 45. But now Manly, with a chance to make changes, have a huge opportunity thanks to a walk-a-while kick. Ralph now over to Lewis. Lewis has a little bit of space there, but wasn't able to get through any of it. Tackle free. I will just finish my fall there. Logan Strange retiring. We may be naming some awards after you, mate. So if you are listening, hope you enjoy that time there. And Dingo now through into a gap and meets Kelly. Shouldn't get to the line there and will not, thanks to a little bit of support defense from that Kelly tackle. But a huge opportunity now for Kay to put in a grubber kick. Right to Kyle Lewis. Is met there. Pair of defenders able to hold him out there. Williams and I believe Curtin it was, but makes a stop. And that is a huge stop there for Brisbane to keep the margin with them.
It was an interesting play there from Manly in the last tackle. Kyle Lewis is that's a big run by Jake Scott there, but
he forced it. Yep, tried to force one out there, and Hayden Mellor broke through one tackle of Kelly and nearly got through again, but was just held up there. Now Lewis, he'll take the run on. It was great work there by Hayden Mellor to make that intercept. It was a bit of a fracas, really, at the point of attack, and Mellor now, Mellor's going to drive through, and he'll score over right under Blair Curtin.
Yeah, Blair Curtin can't keep his old team out here. They're going up to the bunker, but that's quite clearly on the spot there. I don't know why we're going for bunker for plays like this when you can quite clearly see the ball has made it to the ground there. But Curtin couldn't keep up his old teammate, Mellor, and he pushes towards the line after making the big play to get the Manly infield position. And just as we were mentioning earlier, the ball bounces back over to Manly, and they headed it back over. And now it's Shimin Carlos gets this kick. It should be 12-all.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me because both of them have kind of followed a weirdly similar career path. Of course, both of them started out on the Panthers, ended up transferring over to the Sea Eagles. Of course, we aren't the only ones in this match that have followed that. Anthony Delaney as well as one of them. He'll be in the 17 jersey for this one. Of course, Dylan Sharp in the 16, who we will try not to confuse with Dylan Murray. Yeah. But yes, it was very tough there. You know, Mellor really got started with that driving run, and I mean, team was rewarded for its effort.
Yeah, he's one of the underrated players, Mellor, I think. He just sort of goes in each week, does his job in this Manly team. Because of how many stars they have in it, he sort of just goes unnoticed for the most part, and I feel like he's one of actually their better forwards. Just has really good leg drive, Mellor, and just like that was shown, he just sort of just got into the chest of Curtin, and Curtin wasn't able to keep him up with the leg power of Mellor just pushing his way over there.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's just that frequent leg drive, and we've seen it a few times in finals games. We saw it from players like Kieran Wells in a premiership winning run. Damien Moana as well, just players that are able to get post-contact meters in one-on-one situations and just end up driving themselves over the line, and that's what happened on that occasion. Had an unremarkable set from Manly, even though they have gotten fairly deep into Broncos territory. Kay will punt it. Over to Plays. Plays might have a step here. He does have a step, and now it's going to be a foot race. Plays and Dingo. Dingo has a little bit of an angle. Should be able to cut him off here, or he does have support players on his edge. Doesn't go to him, just kept it himself. He had about 4 players on his outside. Didn't look to them, and they definitely had the angle to score there. Kelly nearly through there. Beat Goodwin. Goodwin slams a turf. You got to get up, mate. Got to play some defense. Short side raid. Allison, it bounces off of Carl. And he ends up scoring. Little bit of luck, but sometimes that's all you need.
And Jack Carl has the second one in this match. It just keeps going back and forth at the moment. It was a great run there from Plays. Just stepped past. I think it was Tyler Weston he got past. And then he just took on Dingo.
Corey Bell on that wing.
Oh, my bad. It was Corey Bell it was. And Dingo managed to cut him down. And they just keep going that short side. They went short side first time, didn't work. Decided to go it again. Juggled that from Carl, but it just, once he finally stood still and caught the ball, he realised it's over the line and just managed to place it down. And
yeah,
once again, Broncos are next to score as Rohan misses that kick.
Yeah, that's a very difficult one there from that far sideline. I mean, he's probably got to be looking at the lights flickering on and off up in that stand there as well. But nonetheless, points count, and I mean, one will always have to worry about goal kicking. Of course, we did actually have that mentioned recently by Jack Carl. He was talking about how goal kicking doesn't really change too much, though there's some goal kicking that we've seen in the past. We do know from previous encounters that Broncos would have actually drawn with Canberra and would not be playing in this match, technically. We've got to play with hindsight here. Had Broncos not had the kicking accuracy that they did, and counterpoint the Raiders did not, then they wouldn't be playing in this match right now. They'd be playing for their lives against Canberra, but they end up in this match instead, and Penrith are the ones that have to suffer that fate, as Carl here will look for a measly 40-20 attempt, and measly as the kick as well, as that will be out on the full, and the referee's signaling for that. Not in the right place, but either way, there should be a play the ball there. But yeah, it was a touch finder for certain, but it was definitely misjudged, and Manly now on the front foot to return, though Bennett nearly chuckles that one and gives it right back. And I said ball didn't lie there. Well, yes, ball was telling the truth on that occasion. It's Weston there, met on the sideline, nearly driven to the edge there. Get through on that occasion. Okay, firing it over for Ralph. Through, but just be tackled at the 10. Into acting half. Goes left side O'Donnell. Now for Bennett. Bennett will be met by a pair of defenders, so he shouldn't be able to get there, and he does not. Deuce and Kowal in there to make a tackle. Kay nearly had that one intercepted. of that acting half from Ralph by the other acting half curtain, but get through there as Ralph will send it back there for Lewis. Lewis for high ball, left side. Who's underneath it? It's going to be battered back here for Chaz Dingo, but they were ready for it. And Kowal makes a tackle. And that is another let off there, deep in their own end. Brisbane able to hang on.
Yeah, it was a good play there, Dingo. He's really good at just sort of unorthodox attacks when those sort of tap backs do happen. You know, players trying to scramble, get around, but right then, they tapped it back, but the ball was just waiting for him. Just as soon as he picked up the ball, just sort of crunched him there, wasn't letting him get any meters in. It's probably the first time either of these two teams have turned them away from the goal line. Obviously, apart from that first set Manly had on their try lines. So, Brisbane did well defensively there, and Manly not really troubling them.
Yeah, I mean, technically there was some trouble there, but I mean, Brisbane just very easily snuffed it out. I mean, you know how Adam and I have been against trying to go for those back plays, and they try to make it work there, but that time just a bit more of a neutral outcome as Carl again kicking towards that Western wing. No unintended perhaps, as Western ends up running it through there. Not sure if it is to the western side of the ground. My cardinal directions aren't great. Prakash here on the run. Prakash, another player, part of another Manly exodus. It's O'Donnell there with a step, nearly through. We tackled about a third of the way across halfway. Now got a cutout ball there for Bennett, but Bennett easily met and brought down there by Hunt. Ralph over to Lewis. Now for Harris. Harris will take the tackle on the last here. A lot of defenders there swarming to make the stop. Makes Scott notable in that one as he takes position as primary marker. Ralph over to Kay. Kay, a high ball. Waiting underneath it at the goal line is Kelly, but he gets out. Jumped by Prakash, but he got held up there by Allison. It wasn't Allison, excuse me. That was Seamus Wilson. And Prakash there might have very well cost Manly 6 points, but also did give him a bit of respite by not letting the 20-meter restart happen. But you got to put the ball down, Lennox.
I think I was a bit shocked when he caught the ball there. He's not meant to be out like with Joey Kelly. He's a fullback. It just sort of ends up in his hands. And by the time we realised he had the ball, Wilson did good under it and presented the ball. Although that's going to be a knock on there. Rohan Kaval getting a little bit distracted there, not sure what's happening. And now Manly are going to have another opportunity here. They have to get this one though.
Yeah, they're already scrambling here, Brisbane, trying to get back here. Kelly has to meet Kerrigan. The hard runner ends up getting them already into the red zone and then some. Lewis out to Kay. The halves try to combine and Kay is upturned just shy of a line. Ralph over, short ball Harris. Got it out there for Kerrigan once more. Kerrigan is one-on-one, but that time he gets a bit of assistance there. Now Ralph's very close to the line. Harris gets taken out, but Prakash, did he spill it? We'll have to wait and see.
Don't tell me Prakash choked another one. The ref said it's try, but I think he's dropped it off short of the line. It's Seamus Wilson there.
That's very difficult to tell. I mean, he has downward pressure, but I mean, did it come out before? Let's see what the bunker says. They say it was lost. Oh, that one won't sit well. It's another try that Lennox Prakash had an opportunity to score and has ended up coughing up. And, I mean, Manly, ceteris paribus, they would be ahead probably by 8 right now, but thanks to these grave errors at the line, they haven't been able to convert.
I don't think I've seen a player choke 2 tries in about 5 minutes ever, and Lennox Prakash just did that. Oh, he'd be spewing right now. He should have scored the one with the catch, and he should have held on to that one there, Lennox. The arm of Seamus Wilson just, I think it was a knock on. The ball did look like he had lost control of it. It was the arm of Seamus Wilson there as they go long. Oh, this is a great play, Carl.
I'll throw. I had to put a step on Dingo there. Yeah, I think also part of that, just as like wait on the kick here, I think part of it was also that he ran to the post, and that might have actually had a part in dislodging it. As Curtin here, willing to putting a grubber through, finds Kelly. Kelly's through. The backs were back. Kelly scores, and a 12-point swing comes Brisbane's way.
Wow. Lennox, I mean, the Manly Seagulls failed to score when they're down their end. You know, Lennox Prakash had 2 opportunities, but it wasn't just his fault. There was many other players that didn't really try much when they were down there, and let's be realistic here. And the Broncos get the ball, pretty much go 100 meters, and Kelly gets his 2nd try of the day. And Brisbane's attack, it's looking clean at the moment. It's looking very clean.
Yeah, and I think that there was definitely some great decision-making there from Blair Curtin. Usually not the one thrust into those kicking duties, but he didn't have to take up acting half that time. So he figures, all right, well, all the backs are playing for a bomb setup. Let's try and put one through here while Prakash is playing up the line. They were kind of semi-staggered there for the way Prakash was set up, and Bennett is playing back. Ended up meaning that Kelly was in behind the defense, and with where Manly's back three had been waiting, it ended up just meaning that when they converged, Kelly was already over. Thankfully, it wasn't a Lachlan Miller type situation where it just ended up playing it back while it's just sitting in that in-goal area. So at least Manly have that to fall back on. Oh, Larry pass there from Carl there to Scott. As Lachlan, I'm sure you have some thoughts there about that try as well.
Yeah, look, it was quite interesting there. And actually, I think it was Blake Curtis did it quite nicely there. He also had Rohan on his outside, which is sort of where I think Brad Goodwin and it might have even been Monica Kerrigan at the time, sort of thought that's where the ball's going to go. So he rushed up and opened an even bigger gap for Kelly to go through as, oh, this is great, but oh, an intercept.
Oh, guys throws it right to Goodwin. He tried looking for the play that ended up nearly scoring one themselves. One where Justin Plays had some players on his outside, didn't go to them, but that time he forces it because Manly's defenders were back. Now for sure. Inside Harris. That ends up being wrestled to ground just inside Brisbane's 40. They'll have 40 seconds and free play to try and score one. Dingo spreads wide for Bell. Bell met there by Carl. Bit of a vicious tackle in that one. Goodwin now into acting half. Dingo through a gap. Will be mad. Breaks through two. Three tackles. Ankle tap. Jack Carl stops it. But they have a play. Round for K. K a grubber. O'Donnell across. Is going to be met. He should be upturned. He's stopped in goal. And Brisbane will hold on to a 10-point lead as we go to the halftime break. Welcome back to the second half of this qualifying final on SRL TV. My goodness, Ollie Pache, Lachlan Martin with you for what has been an absolutely wild affair. Brisbane holding on to a 10-point lead, though. The way that they've played, it's really been kind of either way it's swing. Brisbane have made 6 errors thus far and have gone 8 for 13 on completed sets, though somehow they've held on to a 10-point lead through some very stout defense.
Yeah, their defense in that last 20 minutes and a half was absolutely incredible. Obviously, Lennox Prakash, he should have scored twice. Dingo should have scored just before half time, but in the end, they failed in all 3 situations. Realistically, if they get all those 3 tries, Manly are leading, but unfortunately, the Brisbane just scrambled enough, and they couldn't do it. That's a beautiful pass there from Kyle Lewis.
Yep, just got out Dingo there, and it took a bounce there off of Kelly, and a ruling is played at. So that will be a knock-on, and Manly basically getting their opening set reset. Immediately looking to pounce on another Brisbane error. That'll go down as their 7th, I believe. Ralph now over to K. K out to Kerrigan on a short ball. There's a couple of changes. They have put Sharp and Delaney there into the centers. Did mention Delaney leaving as well. Rossi is one of 2 players, I believe, from the season 3 class that is still yet to go over to score here. As Dingo now out to Lewis. He did have Delaney potentially on his outside as well. The second rower, Hayden Mellor, couldn't find him. There goes inside here. Kerrigan, oh, great driving tackle there. Great work there by Eddie Oliver, who's come on there for Blair Curtin. They have also brought on Bailey Wilson. They have the 2 brothers, Bailey and Seamus. We'll be looking to get those boys a ring as they head off, as Deucevag getting up there, making a good catch in traffic. Trying to make a scramble towards the center of the park. Definitely did not want to bring it towards the sideline there as Wilson takes a hefty run to about the 27. Now they'll look to fling it for a little inside ball here. Kowal, Kelly, and they break free here. Dingo does get him, but got it off back to Kowal. Ended up making that tackle though. just at the 0 of the 40, so maybe about 42 meters from the line. Wilson right to the 35 out. Hunt will just take a straight run here and gets right through. Got to pass away, but Bell's there to intercept. He steps Williams. Going to be chased down here by Kelly. A great work there by Corey Bell coming across, likely trying to make a try-saving tackle, but just found the ball coming his way and ends up cutting that one off. And now Manly looking to immediately press a counter-attack here. Already on second tackle, right near halfway. Harris breaks through a tackle of Williams, now going on a run of his own. Manly there, but good work in coverage. Doesn't need to employ Kelly just yet. Does allow him to get back to potentially stop another break here. And here's one from Sharp, but that time Deuce is able to get around on it. They still got more than half of the territory remaining. Weston, short out for Harris, and then one up for Prakash. I'm surprised they're letting him on here after he blew those previous opportunities. He had served his required time, but we'll still have more to come potentially as Lewis there tried to get up there, but Kelly got it. And well, the driving tackle there was attempted, but wasn't really the right way to go about it. Also now trying to force his way through there, but not getting much in that regard. Oliver over to Carl, now with Gronk. Gronk a step. Gronk has been very lightly involved. Only had the ball twice in his previous runs in the first 40 minutes, but now has another opportunity there and makes the most of it, able to try and get Brisbane out of a deep hole here. Carl will cut out Guys. Guys trying to get through the tackle of Ralph there, but could not get very far. Oliver out there for Carl. Carl will punt. It's charged down by Mellott. Mellott now on a run. Another great defensive play. Ends up taking advantage of the opposing half. Gets the kick back and drives it right into the territory. Now Kerrigan through. Breaks off a tackle of Carl. Nearly through there. Just got to be brought down by the number 11 of Brisbane. Maybe Jackson Allison, the vice captain, finally getting involved. Here's Prakash. Prakash trying to get over, but he'll be held in the tackle and will be stopped. Ralph now quickly fired over for Harris. Harris is going to be 2-on-1, and Kawar with some help. They were able to turn him over. I believe it was Guys.
Great defense there. Just over Matt Harris is a big body. But Kawar and Guys just got around him, and they stopped the try there, but that was very close for the Seagulls.
Yep, nearly had another one here as Weston steps right through. They put the winger on the inside, and suddenly he breaks free, and Manly will make this a one-score game.
They've had a lot of possession down here, Broncos. A little bit lazy defense there from Joey Kelly. Don't know, it's defending in the line there, and a little bit lazy there from Kelly, and he just gets through. That's what happens when you have lots of ball down in the end, though. Eventually, you do tire out. I think that's just what happened there. Brisbane tired out. And eventually now Weston has crossed over for Manly's third try of today.
Yep, as Lewis will easily convert. Weston able to get over, and now giving another opportunity here for Manly to try and advance to what would be, I believe, their third grand final in 5 seasons. 4, really. I mean, they were a foundation club, of course, but making it in season 2 and won it. Made it in season 3 and won it. Now look to make it again in season 5 after falling short in season 4. Okay, we'll receive this one as Prakash will make the run. Just up past the 20. Over to Bennett. Bennett, quick kick. Quick pass away for Sharp. Able to get very far though. Now Kay over to Prakash, and hard tackle there by Williams. Really hear the impact of bodies up there. Well, from up here, I should say. As Bennett now. Good driving work there, but Hayes is there to make the stop. This is Bailey Wilson. Ralph will fire back for Kay. Kay might try the 40-20 attempt. Is it going to bounce? It will bounce. This might be tough for Kelly to keep in play. Can't. Oh, dear. It's a very tough thing to do because you've got to try and stop the 40-20, but you've got to try and put the brakes on, and he couldn't do it in time.
Yeah, Joey Kelly, he was rushing over to make sure he gets there. If he doesn't get the ball, he probably goes over to 40-20. He was just rushing to get over there, but he couldn't get there quick enough to put the brakes on and stop him from going out. And Manly have a prime opportunity here to go back-to-back.
Yep. I mean, we talked about previously, the ping-ponging nature of the game, and, well, They ended up finding their way through here. Dingo here. Just wait 1 second. Oh, Jordan Williams there just came in, took the legs out, got him turned over, and I'm sure this will be set up as no try and should be viewed as no try. It will be. Yeah, I mean, won't go with books as a 40-20, so perhaps it's just a little bit more respite than anything else, but either way, held up in that tackle. But now Kerrigan over to Prakash. Can Prakash get over? But he's met by 2 defenders. He is short of a line. Won't have much space to play it here for Ralph. Ralph did give a pass out there for Lewis. Lewis might reach over against Williams. And they will review this one. And it looks like they're going to set it up as good. And it looks like Lewis got there. But gee, it's not been a great carry to the line, has it?
Oh, he's only barely held on to that. In fact, I think he's maybe dug up with the turf there on the ground as he placed it down. But green lights the try. Beautiful. I think it's Jimmy Ralph to get the offload away after trying to go himself. But Carl Lewis steams onto it. Williams comes around and trying to make the tackle, but he just crosses over. And now Carl Lewis looking to take the lead. And as Manly have gone back-to-back here, Brisbane may be behind for the first time in this match in just a moment.
Yeah, and while you can chalk part of it up to that difficult kick that had to be made by Rohan Kavar, it's basically the only difference in this match in terms of the scoring output. That while the kicks have been made very easy for Kyle Lewis as well, that one was basically under the post, and yeah, Jimmy Ralph just able to get that pass out to give Manly its first lead, which I was more excited for. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and so just kind of like, oh, well, here it is. Like those rebound goals you see in the NHL, just like, you know, you don't get to scream, score! It's just a regular rebound goal. This is a call-out post to Sean McDonough. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Kyle Lewis over to Milo Kerrigan. He tries to take a run right at Allison, but not going to get too far. Over to Mellott. Mellott trying to make another run out of him, but just simple one-up ball right now from the Sea Eagles. Okay, out to Bennett. Bennett trying to fashion his way through, but again met by the forward pack and not getting much progress. Lewis out to Delaney, tries to send him through, but Kyle was ready for it. 2 halves collide. Of course, he's playing in the centers this one. Lewis from outside of 40 came well over the outside of the boot. Kelly now tries to make a turn for the sideline, but we got too far there. Eventually, Delaney gets him to ground. Bronk will fire it out here for Herban. And we haven't seen much of Williams there, barging off Mellott. Now going for a run himself. Offload out was dangerous. Ralph could have had it. Hunt ended up securing it, but Ralph secured Hunt. Played now for Oliver. Oliver out for Carl. Wilson now for Kelly. Nice little inside ball there, but not able to free him. He's quickly tackled there by Kerrigan. And now Hunt there. Oh, another offload there. Oliver ends up taking that one. We're just kind of waiting for it like a lunch tray cafeteria as Allison. Now making a barging run there. Not there to make the stop. Might be a grab opportunity here for Carl. Does get it off here. Gets Kelly. And Kelly is over again. And Brisbane find themselves another lead.
I think that's Kelly scored another hat-trick. You might have thought he has. I think that means the only try scorers so far in this game from Brisbane have been their captain Carl, who set this one up, and Joey Kelly, staying through and a bit passive on the ball there, I think Brad Goodwin. Or that might have even been Jesse Bennett, sorry. And Carl, great vision there to get the ball back. It was Jesse Bennett, a bit passive, and he just tripped over at the end there. But Kelly, what a player he is. He was having one of the best seasons we've ever seen. As if you can include, you know, the regular season, I think that's his 18th try of the season, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's just unreal numbers. And yeah, we were talking about, you know, scoring 2 tries a game. Now he's averaging more than that. It's Caval's kick hits the upright. Wow, that seemed so routine, and yet he just put that one off the post. I mean, one has to worry about conversions that bounce off and just hoping sometimes that they go through, but not on that occasion. I'm sure a lot of people will have reminiscence to the NRL and Jonathan Thurston's 2015 attempt from the far sideline that hit the upright. That one was more routine than most, and just ended up skewing that one off. So only a 2-point lead that Brisbane can hold on to, as that's a very risky pass there to Jordan Williams, and everyone came out to meet him. Harbour Bridge Hospital ball there, really. As Carl there decides to go, well, but guys loses it right off Prakash. Make up for it. Jimmy Rao through, steps Kelly, dives over. Manly hit right back.
And I think that might be his first ever try, Jimmy Rao. We'll have to get our stats team to check that one up. But Jimmy Ralph put it just off the back of an error there. It was started from a long ball, which really should have been an intercept. The better was, I think it was, guys, might have been Matt Harris, the captain, sparring his team with a massive shot. He dropped it cold and Jimmy Ralph picks it up, puts on a bit of footwork, and now Manly crossover.
I believe what I saw there was Lennox Prakash putting the shot on, but very well be corrected on that. Yeah, either way, it was a 1x, so, you know, it kind of narrows us down to 7 players. I did see 1 on that side of a jersey, but, well, I guess it would actually leave us with 8, technically, but I'm pretty sure it was a sharp at Delaney, so. Still, Manly, huge try there, right off the back of conceding one, get one right back, and end up scoring via Jimmy Ralph, who ended up running through on that one, following the basically breakdown of that defense, and confirm that is Jimmy Ralph's first try. It would make him the 112th player, I believe, to go over this season. One of 157 that have seen game time. It's Kerrigan there to take the first run of this red set here for the Sea Eagles. Getting past the 20 there on that occasion as Harris finds Bennett. Up to the 30 now, and we'll try and make some calm meterage here. There's Prakash. I believe may have been the one that laid the shot on. That forced the ball out of Logan Guys, and either way, just a textbook shot that it's absolutely kick-started Manly's fire, and, well, we aren't really up right now, the Manly fans, but they'll be very happy with it. Oh dear, that one bounced off the foot of Harris, and then he breaks through here in the scramble. Does end up making up for the little transgression, but that is still not the play you want. Some might look at it as a bit of a blessing. You don't have to defend against a Joey Kelly kick return.
Yeah, it is one thing, but it does give the Broncos at least decent field territory. You know, starting on their 30s isn't the worst thing in the world to start. Mainly really disappointed that very unorganised with that last tackle play. I'm going to boast this team. You know, obviously Broncos have showed some defensive resilience, but overall, for an qualifying final, we haven't seen a lot of defensive efforts other than that 20-minute period where the Broncos were just saving every try possible. It's just how this last 20 minutes goes. It's still anyone's game. We could end up with a 60-point, 70-point game here if this rate keeps going.
Yeah, it's been very high scoring and kind of shocking to most, I'm sure, as Hunt here will try and kick for the corner. It's a pretty good pinning kick for Weston if you can make a stop on him. Eventually Kelly does, but a lot of kick return meters that you really didn't want to give up. Had been able to secure it on that wing there with Deuce. Then, oh, that's a little bit of a risky ball there as Ethan Goodwin, who's come back in onto the field. He's nearly tried to get one through, but couldn't do some of that occasion. Bennett, quick offload out for Cave, and he's going to get about 44 out from his own line. 6 from halfway. Over to O'Donnell. Going to get some decent meters. Recently did find out that he's basically been able to score his first tries while at Manly, and also got his second while he was unable to score during his time at Brisbane. As there is a very, very cheap penalty to give away, and surprisingly, Manly didn't look to make it a 6-point game here. They're going to go for the throat here and kick for touch, so perhaps they might think that it is out of Kyle Lewis's range.
Yeah, a bit of a top kick there would have been Kyle Lewis. At least gives them an opportunity to not only waste time up here, having a full set on their line, but it also means that if they get a try, it's going to become very hard for Brisbane to cross over again.
Yeah, they'd look immediately there for Weston, but not getting anything that time, though. I'm sure they'll look to reset and maybe try and do it again, but they'll have to just look to center up now with O'Donnell. O'Donnell has to get a second defender there for Hunt to help out. Ralph, short ball there for Lewis. Lewis, he might have a chance here. 2 defenders there. Oh, he might have gotten over, though. The ball, I think, spilled loose. No try is a call currently, and that is hard to say. I think that is down, though. Kyle Lewis has gone over again, and you mentioned it'll be very difficult to come back, and it will be now. Manly have gone up once again via Kyle Lewis, and now up 34-26.
What a turnaround for Manly. Well, down at 12 at half time, and now we're about to be up by 10. Oh, sorry, I'm down by 10 at half time. Now we're about to be up by 10. They've had a very good second half performance. 24 points scored, assuming Kyle Lewis gets this kick. I actually think 16 of those in the second half have been by Kyle Lewis, obviously grabbing his second try in this game now. And well, the Broncos, they are going to struggle to come back now. Manly have hit their sort of forefront where they're sort of just pretty much unstoppable. And Brisbane, they're going to have to do something quickly, otherwise this game could turn ugly.
Yeah, I mean, it's already gotten a little bit out of hand here. You're thinking you're up 10 and cruising, but perhaps it's just come up and perhaps it's just, the swing of which way you're running here. It ended up running towards the road enders. Here's O'Donnell immediately off the outset, getting right to the 40. And that is not the start you want to give, especially to a center playing in the front row here. Deal with having to bring off Lennox Prakash, I believe. Sharp now out for Dingo. Dingo is met there by Deuce. Get him to ground and does so. Sharp will shot side raid here. Bennett, he lost it. And then he's going to get forced out. That is a big give up there. Gives the Broncos a set starting about 7 out from halfway.
Yeah,
miscommunication.
Brisbane really need this. They need to find a try soon. I think they need to try before the 70th minute mark to give them a real opportunity to sort of at least get themselves into this game and give themselves a chance to win it. But it needs to be soon as very flat pass there and very close to the line. Could have been an intercept there.
Yeah, had to bullet it out there on that occasion there. Curtin was able to get it out eventually, though. Right at the 30, he plays a ball. I'll now over to Monkey, who's back on. Trying to charge through there. Stopped by both Goodwins playing together. Rarely do you see that. Guys now, a little inside ball there for Kelly, but Brad Goodwin's there. And he makes the stop. They set themselves up for this final little play here. Oliver, back for Carl. Carl, a high ball, way too much put on it, I would think. And Weston, nearly had Kowal come in to try and make the catch there, but Tyler Weston stayed underneath it and is able to make the stop. Gets themselves a 20-meter restart. That could have been the Broncos' opportunity to score just up in flames.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the idea at the Broncos is behind sort of going for those long, high kicks. You got you don't really have any sort of notable jumpers at the Broncos. Maybe Chip Gronk, but even him doesn't have much of the height. The only real one is Kelly, but then, if he goes up, misses it, could lead to a very long-range try. I don't think the kicking option there for the Broncos is to go high. I think they have to go low. Test at the back and have an error.
Yeah, that's a huge error there. Logan, guys, able to clean up the scraps, but oh dear, that's not a great pass. I mean, the result paid off, but really probably shouldn't have been found that deep in that attempt. But now a chance to really press the assault here. Allison nearly through the tackle of Ethan Goodwin. The fans trying to get Manly's defense back up here. Kyle now firing out for Herman. Herman tries to put on a step there, but immediately met by Delaney. Strong tackle now, forces him to go out wide. Kyle now for Allison. Allison trying to drive through here. Perhaps they will get a try before the 70th minute, but they will need it on this play. And Jack Kyle, the primary kicking option, just ended up taking the run for himself here. They scramble to look. Oliver to Kowal. Kowal puts up another high ball. This might hit the bar. It doesn't. And Dingo was waiting right in the in goal. And again, Brisbane looked for a high ball, but it was really uncontested on that occasion.
Yeah, even that one was too deep, not only. And again, nothing really looking like. It was never going anywhere but the clutches of Chaz Dingo. And now, Brisbane, they're behind by 10, still with 10 minutes to go, and they have to go better than a point a minute now if they want to come back from this victory. Sorry, from this margin.
Yeah, I mean, you can still definitely do that given the way they've run, but I mean, it's still going to be a very tall order, especially with how much this Manly defense has tightened up. Only allowed for one unconverted try. One has to think maybe that Kowal missed conversion attempt that sucked the momentum out of him. You usually don't expect someone to go 3 for 5, especially given that their kicking game technically did give them a win. Perhaps that's me giving them commentator's curse. It's Lewis here. Oh, great little dummy there. Rarely do you see that. Ends up just taking a run up himself. I think it was just more for territory than anything. Don't allow them any opportunity to return a kick. Just take it up yourself.
Yeah, really great stuff there from the Manly Seagulls, not wanting to risk a kick return try to sort of dummied it. Kyle Lewis saw the gap and just dummied and ran himself. And it worked nicely for the Manly Seagulls. It means now that Brisbane have to work their own third line. Look, third tackle on the 40. It's a pretty good place to have the Broncos, considering they need to still go an extra 60 metres.
Now, though, one could think perhaps this is a chance for 40-20 attempt. Carl's not set up for it, though. So we'll just fire out to Kelly. Kelly will break through here, but Chaz that time wins the battle and then some. Help of O'Donnell there is able to get him to ground. If they pass the red basket of Manly, they aren't going to have much of an opportunity to put in any kind of attacking kick. This has to be Kawal to look to the wing of Bell. Bell with a step now. Bell looking towards the sideline. Just being met there by Kelly. Put up one player on that short side, so Gronk has to retreat over to that edge. Goodwin now for Mellor. Mellor is met, though. Now Manly just look to coast this one home and see themselves in to their third grand final. Delaney a step here, got an offload out for Lewis. Is involved yet again. This feels like it's been his half, really. Played out for Ralph. Now O'Donnell. O'Donnell straight through a gap. O'Donnell looking for the edge. He beats Kelly. Game. Great Nick Dagger. Ben O'Donnell's third try as a Sea Eagle and his third career.
Yeah, well, he started his career at the Broncos and not much was really happening at the Broncos, so he made the move to Manly mid-season, and hasn't it been a find for Manly? 3 tries in 3 games. He's had an absolutely incredible sort of end of season at Manly. What a better way to end, sort of continue your run, I should say, than scoring a try against your old club.
And yeah, I mean, that is just unreal as well. Just to be able to put that final step on Joey Kelly as well. Put the final touches on the game. And Kyle Lewis again just coolly slots it. 7 for 7 in the goal kicking. Pretty much nearly outscored Brisbane by himself.
Yeah.
And well, Brisbane now have to look to head upstate, well, interstate. Going to have to face Manly again if they want a shot at the crown. But, I mean, coming off of this, what lessons do you think they've learned from having to face this Manly side?
Yeah, look, I think they've sort of just learned they need to make sure they can go for the full 80 minutes, you know. They gave Manly a lot of ball early, and the closer they get them a lot of ball, even though Manly weren't converting straight away, Manly just, the more ball they got, the more they just went down there, drained the Broncos' energy, and it just meant that eventually once they cracked once, Broncos, they couldn't be stopped from there. It took one crack, and well, once the, you know, it was just all Manly from that point onwards. And really, since Manly have scored in the second half, Brisbane haven't been in it.
Yeah, I mean, once they took the lead back and they just took that hit and just never got going from there as Lewis All. That was nearly actually a kick that ended up finding one of their own players. A bit of a chip and chase attempt. I mean, might as well experiment here with probably not enough time left for the Broncos to potentially come back. Though Justin plays, does want to try and have another run there. That's going to seal it, though. The offload attempt after the Goodwin tackle taken up by Dingo. 16 points, 2 minutes left. Have to say it's secure here, though they still want to throw it around here. Manly, they want to send a message to whoever they face, be it Brisbane, be it Canberra, be it Penrith. We're coming for that third title. Mellor now, out for Lewis. Lewis a dummy. Oh, he sold him again. Maybe we will need to see some people sending that one up, but either way, Ralph now out for Delaney. Little inside ball here. Chaz Dingo steps Carl. Is brought down right at the 10. Dingo now. Ralph, a little scoop play attempted, but goes nowhere, and the line is up there before the markers can even decide to get themselves square or back. And Ralph now over Delaney. Goodwin, he's going to put up a high ball. The prop just gets through the post, and Chaz Dingo. Oh, that's cruel and unusual punishment.
Well, this is just out of hand. Manly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that actually breaks the try-scoring record. So not try-scoring record. Point-scoring record in a single match in the comp. Currently sitting at 70 points in a game. Well, that's not great, but I feel like that might have crossed 70 with that try there, which means, well, Manly really just wanted to put the sword in here. But they have conceded 26, 22 of them in the first half. But this second half was their second half.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely took control. 36-17 second half points and 2 goal kicks that have ended up on the road. How far Kyle Lewis has kicked them out.
Yeah, I actually think the groundskeepers had to exit out the back gate a couple of times to go grab them. Maybe there might have been a few drivers that stopped on the road to kick it back over the fence. But Manly, they've sent the message to the comp. They don't care who they're versus, and they're ready to absolutely destroy them, because this has probably been one of the best performances I've seen them make. Sorry, one of the best second half performances, or half performances I've seen them make in there since they've been, this dominant team that they have, which has never really stopped. Because that was just an absolutely incredible performance there.
Nigh on unstoppable. A driving force. Manly will be playing for another title. And Brisbane, the rebuild, will have to wait just a minute. We nearly ran out of space on our tries. Actually, have we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we did not run out of space there, but yes, Kyle Lewis, 24. Broncos, 26. Well, hold on. Are we doing math right? Yeah.
We have run out of space. There's only 7 tries counted there, and it was 8 tries by Manly.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to have to go look at their own stats there to go find out. And you see the errors there. That also was a glaring factor there. 11 errors to 3, 2 penalties conceded to none. And Brisbane, they do so much more work there. You can see by the tackle count. But really, I just think it took of amount of they just could not handle the onslaught. And that's why you see the score, which probably is a telltale sign that sometimes you may just have to let through some in order to live to fight another day. But either way, Manly just kind of ran roughshod over them. As we go back to how Manly performed here, I mean, it's Lewis, Dingo, Ethan Goodwin, Hayden Miller, Ben O'Donnell, Jimmy Ralph, Tyler Weston, all of them contributing on the score sheet. And 4 try assists for Jimmy Ralph, 20 tackles made, none missed, 100 passes, which is, I know he's a hooker, but that's admittedly amusing. And Chaz Dingo there, 210 running meters with 8 line breaks. Did, of course, miss a tackle. But, sometimes you have to take good for bad there. Kyle Lewis as well, 156 running meters and 67 kicking, and scored a double and made 13 tackles. Didn't miss any. That was probably the half where he just absolutely took over the game, did whatever he needed to get the ball out. And, well, it may not show on the score sheet. He really just felt like he had a monumental performance, something that we rarely see out of the number 7, especially given that usually he's had to play second fiddle to other halves. That time, I feel like he really just took it by the throat and turned it into his own game.
It was more interesting was, we talk about, Sixers usually looking more, they want a playmaker. I didn't really notice Wilkie in that game. It was all Kyle Lewis just sort of dictating terms, doing what he felt was right, taking on the line, breaking the line, scoring tries. He ran really well. And to be honest, other than when Wilkie kicked, I didn't really notice him. And Kyle Lewis, just hats off to him. He just really made that game his game. Or made that half his game, I should say.
Yeah, one could look at it as kind of like the safety valve that Will K has been, and we just kind of played it wherever he needed to. The 3 missed tackles is a little bit alarming. I think we said for Corey Bell as well, who did not make a tackle and missed 3. So perhaps a weakness can be found. But, well, that was on the wing where Cooper Grunk was, who really saw much involvement go over to Brisbane's end. It looks like a bit of a sorry state by comparison, to be honest, though. That's not to say that there wasn't some great performances there. Jackson Allison, as usual, with that number 11 run, 137 meters. Justin Plays did not see a lot of a ball played on in that match, but still clocked up a solid 128 meters. See the missed tackles there. Joey Kelly missed 5, as well as Sam Herb, and that is... I understand why it occurs, but you can't let your fullback be that lackadaisical, that porous in defense.
Yeah, we talk about Joey Kelly's sort of attacking prowess, which is definitely still probably at the moment the best attacking fullback in the comp. But I think that's something we need to fix going forward. He's a defensive fullback because, 5 missed tackles for any player is bad, let alone your fullback is, well...
Yeah,
great.
that was part of why Brisbane needed to scramble so often, and Perhaps that could be a factor that they can pinpoint and say, all right, well, maybe we need to make a change here, though. I mean, your options are limited there, and do you really want to lose out on it for how good he's been in terms of attack? Of course, you look at it net points wise, you could say, okay, well, he contributed 18 points, but missing 5 tackles, you make it 4 points per missed tackle. You're still losing out on that, though. Will be also a bit of an issue there for Logan Guys. 3 errors, Justin plays with 2. Couple spread across Carl, Hunt, and Scott. I believe that is. Yep, Jake Scott, and of course Joey Kelly did that run at a touch that gave Manly a repeat set, and also likely led to points. And no real solid kicker out of that one, though. I have to say, Blair Curtin and Jordan Williams did get in their kick that led to try assist, so well, they'll be content with those on a personal note. But they have to reload and regroup. Next, they'll have to play at Suncorp. Either Canberra or Penrith will be waiting for them.
It'll be tripped back to the home venue. Brisbane, they'll be waiting for whoever they want to verse. They've definitely not given up yet, but it's going to be... They'll have to regroup because this was not the performance they would have liked.
Yeah, 22-point loss is never what you want to see, especially not in a qualifying final. But Manly, they get a week off. Brisbane, they got the week to prepare for whoever they face next of a preliminary final. Of course, we do have the elimination final coming out tomorrow. We will find out who Brisbane will face. So, Ollie Parche. Well, I'm Ollie Parche. I'll talk for the SRL staff, which I am a part of now. I think I have to talk about that on the broadcast. Even though this is my first time in the booth since then. But yes, for Lachlan Martin and all of the players on SRL TV that tuned in. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.